Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I have a scenario for you, a Dawah scenario for you. You go to masjid, you see a sister. The sister is going into the mosque or is coming out of the mosque, and you notice that they remove their hijab outside of the masjid or inside the masjid. What do? Do you A, go up to them, tell them off, make them feel bad? What kind of Muslim are you? You're supposed to wear hijab, this is not right, like this is not the correct dress, you should be wearing this, and da 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 da. Or saying like, oh no, you should put this on at home, you shouldn't take it off here, you shouldn't put it on in front of the mosque, it's not right? Or do you B, have a conversation with them? Maybe since if depending on who you are, if you're a brother, perhaps get a sister to have a conversation with a sister. We have some boundaries between genders, and also maybe a woman explaining this issue to another woman is probably more useful than a man, because you don't know the background of the person. Again, maybe I already talked about this in another video, but like, you need to know where people are coming from. If there is somebody, for example, who comes from a culture, a country where hijab is used as a form of oppression, then it's not so easy to explain to someone like you should probably wear hijab, because they're like, no, you cannot tell me what to do. Like, okay, hijab is not supposed to be worn for someone. Hijab is supposed to be worn for Allah. And this is also important, that do they understand that? Because if you're just going to give advice randomly and nobody asked you, and it's a sensitive topic, then that's not going to go very well. So you need to understand the context, you need to get to know people, you need to understand where they're coming from. And you need to understand where they're coming from and ask them as well, because imagine, a couple of days ago, we went to a mosque, and there were some very sweet uncles there, mashallah, they had good knowledge and everything. We went to the masjid, and coming outside after we finished what we were doing there, we came back and we were going to go outside, and one of the women who were with us, she took off the scarf on the way out already, before she left the building. And the uncle stopped us and she said, oh sister, it would be so much better for you to wear the hijab even as you're going home, or even outside or something. And I was like, actually she's not Muslim. She was not Muslim, you guys. So sometimes people we try to give advice and then we don't even know what's going on, and then, oh, okay, never mind. So if she's not a Muslim, I mean, she was just curious about the mosque, of course, you can then say, so in this case, you're visiting the mosque, it's better for you to cover the hair within the mosque. When you leave the building, you take it off, and you visited, and mashallah, you paid respect, it's so good. So this is a good way to advise, and in fact it's probably also our mistake with the other sisters, because we did not tell her or teach her that it's best for her to remove it outside of the mosque since she's come to visit, because we were on the way out. So we didn't make a big deal out of it. But it's funny, because the situation was not at all what they were thinking. So, and mashallah, they were very good intentioned and very beautifully they advised. So it's very good dawah the way that they did it. But in this case, it was not a Muslim person anyway. So you should learn the context of a person. Another example, really, and I'm bringing up this issue because it's a common thing. Many people don't wear hijab, so this happens all the time. And by the way, if you don't wear hijab, no problem, you're on the journey, you are believing in Allah, you worship Allah, you are learning more and more. If you feel one day comfortable or you wish to wear it, you're very welcome to join the club. If not, then we just want to see you, in our events. Come, still have a good time with us, learn about Islam. And the most important thing is that you believe in Allah and you worship Him. Your identity, Allah's love towards you is not dependent upon whether or not you cover your hair. It is best, if you can, to cover your hair. This is in Islam, but we are very welcome in the community, and you're very welcome with us, and we're very happy to have you with us, no matter whether you wear hijab or you don't wear hijab. Is not a problem. So now back to the dawah point. If you're going to advise someone, I remember in Ramadan there was a new Muslim convert sister. She literally converted a couple of weeks ago. At that time she was not wearing hijab yet, and came for Tarawih, though mashallah she was almost there every single night. And she would put on her hijab outside, she comes in, she prays and does everything with us, and iftar and whatever, and then she's leaving and she takes off the hijab because she's not yet comfortable to wear it, or she does not wear it yet, it's not her journey yet, she's not part of her journey as much yet at that time. So there was somebody outside of the masjid after Tarawih, before the Tarawih, and this was a brother, and I think, mashallah, he had the intention to spread some good Islamic message, but didn't do it the best way possible. And she telling her like, well, this is something you should be putting on when you leave the house. And when this friend of mine, or when this person related the story to me, I was like, please don't be discouraged by this type of advice giving. It's the brother's mistake to give you such an advice in such a manner. This is not the way that we advise each other, and this is not how to call someone to Islam or a practice of Islam. And this is just, it was so rude. You know, you should be more gentle. Allah is Al-Latif. Allah is the gentle one. You should also be gentle and kind. If you're gonna remind someone, be gentle with them, or have a conversation. Ask them, oh sister, I noticed that you take off the hijab sometimes. Is it like, what could be the reason? You know, if you just converted to Islam as well, this is not gonna make you wear hijab more, that someone told you off for not wearing it outside on the street. And by the way, like, easy for us to say who've been Muslims for so long, or if you're born into Islam, eventually you start praying and practicing, right? You're not born like 5 salah as a baby, you know. Just everybody is taking steps towards Allah and practicing these things. So be patient with each other, be kind to each other, be more realistic with each other. Know people's context so that you can give better advice, or that you don't give advice that's unnecessary. It's also not your job to always give advice to people, but we're talking about dawah right now, so we're talking about positive dawah and how to be a da'i, and we have a whole lecture about how to be a da'i. Please watch it on the channel. It's so important, so this is something to consider. And again, I would say authenticity is so important. If you're gonna show a good example to people and then call them to that good example, it is much more beneficial than if you're just gonna let's say give advice while you're also doing something that is not so good, inshallah. Anyway, have a good day, good luck with your dawah, and Asalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And pray, make dua that Allah helps you become a better da'i.